how AI ads and a setter will book you meetings on Autopilot for your B2B business. Okay, guys, this is going to be the most value-packed video I've put on this YouTube yet. Okay, so stay tuned in, and there's going to be a bonus for those who stick around at the end. I'm going to dive into exactly how you can make money fast using the neural marketing method that will allow you to easily collect over 10K in the next 7 days if you run it right. Okay, so to dive into the exact ascension process with you guys, what is acquisition ascension, and how can you leverage AI, ads, and a setter to book you meetings on Autopilot, right? I'm going to go over the exact levers we pull, right? How you can pull them yourselves, and how we have pretty much automated and delegated everything. So this is just a seamless process for you, right? The whole idea with acquisition ascension is for you to be completely hands off of the acquisition processes, right? What we also provide in the marketplace is also what we do for ourselves. Okay, we have a team. Uri, he is now our chief of staff. He manages all of our setters, and we are just leveraging AI, setters, and ads to pretty much book out our calendar and allow us to genuinely collect a couple $1,000s every single week without us doing pretty much anything, right? And I can genuinely say this is the most freeing I've ever felt as an entrepreneur, right? I no longer have to, do all the outbound myself, do the cold calling, do the cold messages, do the cold emails, right? All of that is completely automated and dialed in, right? We have nothing but targeted meetings coming in, just high quality meetings, and I'm literally doing nothing but taking sales calls and worrying about client success, the stuff I actually love doing, right? We're out of the day-to-day of the business, and that's what all entrepreneurs need to be. Like, they have to, there is no freedom in scale until you have finally got out of the acquisition processes, so you can genuinely go from working in the business to on the business. All right, guys. And so I hope this makes sense. I'm going to be diving into, like I said, the exact ascension process, all right? How we leverage outbound, right? How we leverage AI from head to toe. How we launch the direct and indirect ads, right? And then how we leverage inbound, right? And then how, literally these systems alone will allow you, just outbound alone, will allow you to do over 300 to 500 targeted DMs a day, okay? Resulting in 15 to 25 positive responses, 3 to 5 calls booked, 2 to 4 show-ups, and 1 to 2 closes a day, okay? On an average 2K offer with outbound automation running how it's supposed to, meeting these KPIs, industry standard numbers, right? An average 2K offer on the low end will collect $60,000 a month, okay? And I can genuinely say that we are on pace to do that, leveraging these systems, a setter, and AI, all right? It's really simple, right? This is the notifications we're getting, what our email notifications look like, just new event being booked, new payouts, right, getting hit on the daily, right? This is what acquisition ascension does. This is what outbound automation does. And I'm going to dive into, like I said, how ads, right? You can literally run the right strategy, have over, this is around $5.20 per targeted lead across these ads we're running for this one brand and company that is scaling like crazy. They had almost 200 opt-ins in the last 30 days, okay? Now, what that looks like as far as conversions, right? This is a different offer, Trey, right? 15 opportunities, right? Booked meetings coming in from the setter, right? This was within the first 2 weeks of us plugging in the new funnel, dialing in his offer, and actually building him real systems, because before he was running to just his Calendly off the ads, right? I was like, bro, let's get a funnel up, let's dial this in, let's get a setter, warm dial these leads, right? Let's hammer it the right way, okay? Within the first 2 weeks, right, booked 15 appointments, 3 closes, that's 6K, right? Now, with this funnel up, we've done over 2,200 page views, right? This is now about a month in, okay? 10% opt-in rate. It's pretty solid for a funnel if you tell me, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, you tell me. almost a 10% opt-in rate. That's 182 opt-ins, guys. With those numbers, 15 meetings booked, 3 closes. That's a 20% close rate, right? On the amount of booked meetings and leads we had, right? We had about a 64% booking rate within those 2 weeks. So off of 182 opt-ins, you time that by, the 64% booking rate, then the 20% close rate off that. That's about going to be 23 closes on his $2,000 offer. He's estimated to collect around $46,000, okay, up front. He made his ROI back within the first 2 weeks, right, of our offer, right, guys? And this is the power of acquisition ascension and what it looks like, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I've genuinely loved, like, I'm not doing anything. Our setters are booking us quality meetings on a daily basis, right? Our setters are booking us off the warm dials, off our ads, like booking us just, again, quality meetings so we can close multi-5-figure, 4 or 5-figure deals and have those, $10,000 days, right? 10K weeks. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing it for, but that's what we're grinding for, right? A full automated, autonomous process where we're doing nothing but sitting back, collecting cash. Our business is scaling, right? We're hands off, right? We could genuinely go to 80, 100K a month with the right infrastructure and systems. Like I said, I'm going to dive into this step by step, right? And I want to take you guys from the ground zero, okay, before I start yapping too much, right? What's it look like step 1 of just launching these systems, right? Okay, immediate deliverable, right? Let's say you guys are ready to join SaulnaDigital. You are ready to automate your complete acquisition process. You're ready to dive into how ads, AI, and a setter can really help you go to $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 a month, okay? Immediate deliverable, right? We're going to build out these backend infrastructures exactly for you and with you and personalize them for you, right? The only thing you're going to need to be doing is going through the offer and the onboarding processes, right? We have it built out in a plug and play format where we're going to dive into your product, the product market fit, the branding behind it, the whole 9 yards, right? You're going to get access to pretty much everything so we can dive in and understand your core offer, right? Your ICP, right? Your branding, who you are, who you stand for, whole 9 yards, how we leverage AI through even our onboard process, right? Like chat prompts, right? To dial in your onboarding, right? That way we can have the best product, market, knowledge, and fit going into the scale of your offer, right? Actually leveraging AI in the right way and plugging in all of this info and data we have about your offer, right? That way we can dial in your messaging. We can figure out your content angles, right? And we can just save time doing all of that through the onboard process. So when we go to launch, everything is just green to go in this full acquisition ascension process, right? Outbound, the messaging is dialed. The scripts are personalized through all of the AI and the prompts we leverage, right? And the consulting that we do and stay on with you and personalize with you step by step, right? Not to get ahead of myself, but like this stuff just fires me up, right? Like, okay, you're going to go through that in the onboarding, right? Next steps, right? We delegate the next step of this process to the setter, right? The setter is going to dive into, who you are as an offer owner, right? What offer they're onboarding into, right? Let's say, some people already have a setter in teams and they just need SOPs and a real game plan to help them scale and actually use their talent efficiently, right? And that's what these systems as well offer, right? The people that don't, and they're maybe potentially doing it manually, or they're just done, They know they need a team and real people to scale and make this process automated so they can start worrying about what they want to worry about, right? So fired up, I'm knocking over my water bottle, man. We provide setters, right? We leverage our network that we have, right? We go get our commission dogs that understand our business model, how to leverage AI, how to leverage a high-performing script, right? And how to genuinely book people at a really, really high rate. We go get them, plug them in, right? And they print for you full-time, right? And that's another, just added value piece we have is just this network that we're building of killers, right? We plug them in, and after your offer, your onboarding, right, we're going to consult you on basically pretty much everything you're going to dive into with that AI and just this whole plug and play format that we have with you, right? And it's very clear. It's broken down in a step-by-step format, even in a video format, right, when you come on board. And then the setter gets delegated the next part, right? So like we said, we want to make this as hands-off for you as possible, okay? So you're going to run through that full onboarding process. Then the setters are going to start picking up slack, right? It's like, all right, they need to understand your offer. They need to understand you, how you talk, right? Who you're talking to, right? The idea with the offer, right? Our angles in the market. And our full onboard process and our onboard meeting is going to get us very dialed in and clear on that. And then the setter takes over. We're going to dial in. We're gonna dive in with them. They're gonna get full access. This is another immediate deliverable, the full outbound automation, right? That will allow you to put your offer in front of 300 to 500 targeted people per day. Okay, I'm gonna dive into that targeted aspect, right? And how we personalize that stuff as well. Okay, how they're able to leverage outbound automation and understand these processes themselves, right? As the offer owner and business owner, you're going to have access to this too, because we don't want to hide anything back about, what's going on behind the scenes for your offer, right? How we're actually implementing acquisition ascension, right? But this is the info that the setter needs, right? They need to understand, like, okay, what platforms are we going to be leveraging? Is it IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, right? Where does your ICP reside? We'll get very clear on that through onboarding, right? It's like, okay, then, we're going to leverage IG and LinkedIn. All right, and we know we need to get to at least a 300 targeted DMs a day mark. Each account, let's say on IG, can max out at 75. So we can do, between 3 to 5 accounts on IG, and ideally probably, maybe 2 to 3 LinkedIn accounts, right? That we just start scaling up, okay? Well, we show you guys in the setter how to go buy aged accounts, right? Sometimes we even provide them depending on the platform, because we do have some in stock that, we keep warm from ourselves and our other partners, right? Just in case something happens. We can't provide those, right? We provide aged accounts. We go over the exact criteria you need for each aged account, 2 to 3 years, right? The site to go buy them, what to look for as far as the buyers go, when you get it, what to do next, right? The exact warm-up guides, designated per platform, right? And to be completely transparent with you guys, if you guys don't have, accounts, like some people do have accounts, right? Like one of the business finance companies we just onboarded, they already had 3 IG accounts and they had 2 Facebook accounts and a LinkedIn account ready to go, right? Like they've already been prepping for this, and so they their speed to launch was a lot faster than the people that don't have anything, maybe just one account, personal brand or company brand, and that's really it. We have to scale up 2, 3 other accounts. That does look like a 2-week process, but the speed of it comes from the bonus I'm going to mention at the end, that neural marketing method. That's how you make money fast. In ads, right? That's also going to help us with speed, okay? Because speed is important, especially in the market today, especially when we have a good message that we're rolling out, right? And this whole outbound process and this whole onboarding and acquisition ascension process is just going to help us dial in our messaging. Like I said, the messaging, which is going to feed, the content, the marketing angles, which is just going to feed ads, right? And you're just building this ecosystem, right? Which is the acquisition ascension, right? It's you're building an ecosystem of just high quality leads, right? Targeted leads, okay? Now, how we leverage AI as far as, just continuing in this outbound automation process, right? So not only do we dive into your exact ICP, right? Your ideal customer persona or profile, right? Your target audience per se, right? Through that full onboarding process, but we dive into exactly where they're at, right? So okay, so let's say you're you help real estate investors, right? Okay, now where do real estate investors reside, right? We know we need to go get those targeted leads and scrape them, right? So then we could go get these leads, plug them into the bot, allow it to automate all of the outreach for that setter. So all they're going to have to do is worry about positive replies, okay? So are they in, the Facebook groups? Are they commenting under certain IG posts, maybe Grant Cardone, whatever? Are they in certain LinkedIn groups or liking certain LinkedIn posts? We leverage a software and AI that can literally scrape nothing but all of those leads, right? You're going to get that profile info, anything they have in their bios, things of that nature, right? We even dive into how we refine those leads further down, right? So like for the tech company, right? We just onboarded as well, right? I just scraped 50,000 targeted leads and then narrowed it down to 15,000 of just people that have nothing but IT consultant and people that sort CFOs, CMOs in their title, in their bio. And now we know that our target, our personalized message that I'm about to get into is only going to targeted leads, right? So this targeted DMs, like it's legit. Like we're sending out like 300 to 500 targeted DMs per day, which is huge, right? Because we know if we get positive responses back, that is a qualified lead, right? We book them in. We're not worried about just shitty lead quality, just bad leads, getting in the pipeline, getting on sales calls, wasting time, right? That is one of our solutions, right? Like the poor lead quality in the marketplace right now, right? How do you acquire high quality leads on Autopilot? That's what this is solving, right? And I'm just breaking it down step by step, right? We've gone through the onboarding, the immediate deliverables, all of these steps will be personalized with you. Like this is infrastructure. So like the idea here is AI ads and a setter, right, are pretty much going to break your acquisition process, right? AI and ads alone will break your acquisition process. A setter will allow you to pretty much, automate and then delegate, right? Delegate it so you're not doing it and you're off the process. All you're doing is taking sales calls, right? And this is the exact infrastructure where the appointment setter, the team, right? You're going to probably eventually scale a sales closer, right? Because you're going to have so many leads coming in through AI and the ads, right? This is an exact back-end infrastructure and SOPs where they can come and work, right? They understand, their daily workflows, right? Their disqualification process of the leads, just their whole setter process, the offer they're running. So that's everything's in one place. Their DM scripts, for the appointment setter, structure, whole 9 yards, the sales closer, their script, how they receive payment, their workflows, whole 9 yards. So everything is in congruence. And then we even dive into the back end, automations through, Go High Level, how we can leverage that, to basically set up, re-nurture stuff, tracking leads, XYZ, right? Like it gets very intricate. But that's the value of Acquisition Ascension, right? It's completely automated, it's seamless, and it just makes so much sense if you want to scale your B2B offer, okay? Now, to keep diving in, right, outbound automation, we dive into the exact SOPs, how to leverage the bots once the accounts are warm, the leads will be there. We're going to start launching the bot, get that going. The setter is going to understand the exact personalized script that we're going to be consulting them through and helping them build and dial in, right? Like I said, if you could put your offer on the market cold through outbound, right? Leveraging bots, leveraging AI, right? And you're getting positive replies back from your ICP and you're closing deals, scaling ads and everything else is just going to be so easy. Dialing in your messaging, your core message through Instagram, right? Like, outbound will allow you to just get market feedback, right? And just keep refining your message, understand what people want to hear, what's moving them, helping you like maintain speed in the marketplace, right? Then we go over the KPIs, right? How the setter is going to track their KPIs, right? Holding them accountable to, these numbers, right? Because we want you guys to be hitting these numbers through outbound automation, right? And so we stay on for 3 months in full transparency and make sure the setter is doing that and leveraging everything at a very high level. Okay, we show them how to mark leads, how to track everything in a very plug and play format. Positive confos. How many they sent out that day, right? That way we can on the consulting calls we can dive into where they're getting bottlenecked and stuck, right? We can really dive into right okay, is it the first message that's not working, right? Okay, what. We usually split test between 4 to 5 different opening variants so we can start seeing what the market wants and the messaging they want to hear, right? Okay, now which positive response is working the best, right? Okay, for one of our tech companies, we literally just had a consulting call this week. Oh man, I should have uploaded those results on there as well in the Lucid. But literally, we changed their opening message and they got 6 replies back within the next couple hours, right? It's a direct testament, right, of that the consulting works and that tracking the KPIs work. And it's a natural sequence of the bottlenecks, right? Okay, once you dial in the first message, then it's dialing in the positive conversational workflow. You're going to send out your bookings a couple times. People might not book. Okay, we're going to dive into why. Then we're going to run some re-nurture, get them to book. Okay, then that's helping us understand the positive workflow of like, all right, this is what they want to hear. These are the better questions that we need to start asking. Like, where are people falling off at, right? We're tracking all those KPIs. And then we're getting on calls, right? And then we're tracking those sales calls KPIs, right? Most offer owners are taking them right now. Some of them in our network and that we've onboarded, our clients, partners, right, have scaled a closer and growth specialists, and they're taking them now. And all that market feedback goes into this loop. And it literally just allows us to roll out, the right content assets, the offer owner to roll out the right content assets, ourselves to roll out the right content assets. It helps us to stay on top of our client success, helps us understand like, okay, where does, maybe our systems need to get refined and get clearer through all these systems and things that we provide, right? Like where are people getting stuck at, and it allows us to actually, like I said, go to working on the business so we can keep rolling out the actual best product in the marketplace, right? And that's what you need to be doing too. And that's what Acquisition Ascension will allow you to do as a B2B consultant, info product owner, right? Like you selling a B2B offer, this is what it'll help you do. And I hope this makes sense. And if I'm still talking to you and you're still here after almost 21 minutes, like DM us and I'll send you over just some free resources. If you comment doc, I'll send you all of this stuff that we have here, like just some back end stuff that can really help you scale really fast. And then if you just comment B2B, we'll reach out to you. It'll probably be one of our setters in full transparency, and we'll hop on a quick call, and it'll be me and my business partner Craig, and we'll dive into it in real time about how Acquisition Ascension will genuinely help you go to $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 a month in an autonomous way and get you hands off and help you scale. All right. Now, like I said, I want to dive into this in just like each leg of the process. So that's outbound automation, right? Now, that pulls that lever. That is, our outbound lever, how we leverage AI and a setter, right? Now through ads, we leverage a direct and indirect ads funnel, right? A lot of people in the marketplace right now are running the profile funnel. So we dive into the exact process for you to be able to do both follower ad formula and the lead ad formula, right? And through that process, I literally have it broken down in a step-by-step process and in video format. And not only that, we do consulting because we got to dive into your messaging, your targeting, right? And just everything as far as that goes and how we can get you the best results and what we're going to be split testing upfront and early so that, you can go from like these people that onboarded before, they were averaging about $272 per one website purchase, right? Which was into the booking a meeting for the 5K consulting they had, to how we literally started getting leads for less than $1.20, and they generated almost 184 leads within, that was like the first week. Genuinely, like this printed so fast, because what they were doing before just was not it. But they did a lot of split testing and stuff, and they just didn't leverage it in the right way and in the right formula and format, right? And like I said, these ads over here, this is them now, actually. Now that we've like refined it, this was them when they first came on, and this is them now, right? They average about 200 leads a month, okay, averaging about $5.30. It did get a little more expensive, and that's because we refined it, right? But at first, we were just getting like, okay, it worked, right? The messaging and everything, it was dialed, right? And we had a lot of kind of honestly shitty leads come through, and we just had to weed through all of them, dial in like, okay, this is the exact ICP we want, where they reside, did some retargeting on top of the retargeting, right? And boom, this is where we're at right now. And they're scaling really fast. We have 2 dialers in there now, and I mean, they're hammering it. One's doing the out-of-country leads because he's out of country as well. One's doing the U.S. leads because he's in the U.S., right? And they're just hammering from all levels. The leads get split into the designated pipeline and funnel. It's completely automated, right? Booking in high-quality meetings for their closer. And like I said, guys, this is literally our personal notifications and what it looks like. I mean, I love waking up to new calls. I love waking up to an opportunity to make $6K. You know what I'm saying? Like doing a 20K week has never been more realistic for us. And I love it. I'm so excited. Because, guys, we all need to be waking up to more texts like this. This is one of our last clients. Like, it's that easy. Let them know to send the invoice, and I'll pay it before our meeting tomorrow so we can get going with the onboarding. Like, dude, how do you not love those texts? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, That's it. And that's what this acquisition ascension process creates, right? When you dial in your messaging, you become a real expert in your market, right? And you start leveraging like the actual system so you can actually get hands off and start actually learning how you can start moving fast in your market, right? You pull the outbound automation lever, leveraging AI in the setter. You launch your direct and indirect ads, right? And that's going to allow people to, come back inbound, either follow you. The setter's going to hit them. We got that full blueprint of what that looks like, how they're going to follow up with people that, now come inbound, right? And follow you so they can get DM set, from a quality lead, XYZ, right? And then even the people that, fill out the lead form, right? That give us, their name, number, email, things of that nature, how we set up the email automations, right? How the warm dollar framework, how they're going to book calls in, XYZ, and then how you're going to start leveraging inbound, right? Funneling, your word of mouth referrals with all these clients you're going to be closing, right? Because they're going to know more people in your space. Referrals are going to be the easiest way for you to continue to scale. We're going to dive into your funnel, right? Optimize all of those things. Like I said, this is what happens when you optimize your funnel and you actually dial that in, like a 10% conversion rate on opt-ins, push proper traffic to it. Come on, guys, this is how you go green in the market right now. Come on. We're trying to give you guys the blueprint, like genuinely. All right. Now, then you're going to leverage, content assets, long form, short form. YouTube is just king right now. Allowing people to spend time with you, right via sales, right messaging, knowing what the marketplace wants to hear in your B2B space, right? Speaking to those business owners that are looking for your solution in the marketplace right now, right? We show you guys how to break those down, how to break them down, right? Lifestyle, value, what each one needs to be about, right? Help you dive into a real content formula and breaking it down into the cohort method, right? And then you're going to run the story sequences as you're getting, the qualified followers, and you're just going to get conversions, right? This whole acquisition ascension process, tracking the leads, tracking KPIs. The team is doing pretty much all of this. All you're going to be worrying about genuinely, right, is rolling out content assets, hence what I'm doing right now, and worrying about client success and, whether you're taking sales calls or not, that's going to be up to you. I personally love taking sales calls because, I think it's good to show face as the owner still, right? No matter how big we're scaling. But I also love them. You know what I'm saying? I love talking to new clients, seeing where they're at, their business models. It intrigues me. I love scaling businesses, right? And now we're in a place where we can do that, right? Because I remember when I was scaling at SMMA, and if we weren't in the trenches while doing the sales calls and doing client fulfillment and worrying about managing all the accounts, and we still weren't doing our outreach and our cold calls, the business wasn't getting moving forward, and that's why I'm so excited about this product that we have been building and rolling out, because this is the solution that me and my business partner were looking for. When we first got started and across all the agencies we've scaled, he scaled a successful copywriting agency. I built a successful sales team in the financial space, right? Like we had a whole growth operating and growth partner business as well that was successful and scaled fast, right? And then, but like when you break it down, right? Like we can't be a marketing company outsourcing a marketing company that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's struggling to automate leads for ourselves, right? Like, no, that can't be that, right? And, the amount of people that are getting burned in the marketplace right now because of ad agencies or everyone just doing SMMA that have no idea what they're doing in the marketing space, right, is actually insane, which is why, we pride ourselves on helping you build this full in-house, automated acquisition process, right? Because we don't want that to happen to you guys. We've been through it, right? We've been on both sides of the spectrum, right? The churn is unreal from the agency side, right? Getting, put on the back burner by another marketing agency that's also trying to scale up their own business, right? It sucks, right? It's wasted money and it's not scalable. It's not scalable, right? Like I said, ads, AI, and a setter will help you and take you to your goals and help you automate your acquisition process, okay? And just book high quality meetings on your calendar on a consistent basis. And that is what this solves. That is acquisition ascension. All right, guys, I hope that makes, just a ton of sense. I'm pretty much done yapping here. Just so you guys know, like I said, these are all immediate deliverables. As soon as you get onboarded and you're ready to make that jump, just make sure you reach out to us, or make sure you comment B2B, either in our DMs or below this video or wherever you see it clipped, and we'll get back to you and get you on a call and talk to you, right? The link is also in our funnel, which is in our YouTube link, in our YouTube bio, right? Go hit our funnel, go learn more about us, right? If it makes sense for you, book in a call, because we want to help you scale right alongside of us, right? Like I said, everything we're doing for ourselves, everything you see right here, and that these results that we're getting for other people is exactly what we're doing for ourselves, right? And we want you guys to have, an opportunity to collect, the 46K in the next month, right? And get, texts like these on a consistent basis, right? From your clients, leveraging these, outbound automation and just acquisition ascension systems. All right, guys. Outside of that, I hope you guys, stay blessed, and we'll catch you guys at the top. Peace.